personal injury court.
Then I hit the bag as hard as I can, and right as I hit it, that bag felt like it was solid.
So you're gonna hit it? Oh.
I've never felt a more excruciating pain in my entire life.
You are suing for $185,000. In the event of a power outage, stop all use of machines.
He jumped the gun, he went right back to playing, and that's against our rules.
You never had anybody else injured?
Never in my establishment, Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis, do you take any responsibility for your injuries? You could have just stopped.
Your Honor.
Judge Gino Brogdon spent 10 years on the bench ruling on cases worth billions of dollars. Now he presides over some of the largest claims in TV history. This is Personal Injury Court.
Good day, everyone. This is the matter of Lewis versus Allen's Arcade and Alley. Mr. Lewis, it's my understanding that you are suing Mr. Allen for injuries you sustained at his arcade using one of his games. You're asking this court to award you $35,000 for past medicals, $10,000 for future medical expenses, $140,000 for pain and suffering, for a total award of $185,000. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Allen, your position today is if he had followed certain simple rules, he never would have been injured and we wouldn't be here today. True?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, let's get into the legal sauce. So you're an arcade gamer?
I've always just loved vintage arcade games. You know, just the 80s were the golden age for games. I mean, that's just my...
Here, here.
You know what I mean? But ever since I was little, I loved being active. I loved just doing anything, like sports. And I loved karate, I loved football, you know, skateboarding. I just loved it all.
You do it all?
I love to put myself out there, yeah. I love to have a good time. And so I wanted to check out Allen's because I heard they had a good selection of games. They had this boxing game. And this, I don't know if you've heard of it before, but this boxing arcade game where you hit the bag and it measures how hard you hit. It gives you a certain amount of points for it.
Okay.
That is my favorite game, and I always kill it. I don't know, but not anymore. But the thing is, I was just going on a date with my girlfriend, Amanda. We were there to have a good time.
Miss Amanda, you were there that night?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Allen, tell me about your bowling alley and arcade.
I have owned Allen's Arcade and Alley for about 3 years now. I grew up playing video games. I've always had a passion for them, and it was always my dream to own my own arcade one day. So when I had the chance to purchase this arcade and alley, I jumped at it. I wanted to have the old vintage games so that the people that grew up playing them could relive that, and for the people that never got to play them, that they could discover them for the first time. So I have
old and new games?
Yes, Your Honor. I have a few new games, but most of my games are the old, nostalgic kind, but they're still very popular, like the boxing game that the plaintiff was playing. Other than my great beer, the thing that brings the people to my business is my wide variety of arcade games.
So you went to the arcade, and somehow you ended up on the boxing machine.
Yes, well, the boxing machine, like I said, Your Honor, is my favorite game, and so I had to check it out. Every time I go to an arcade, if there's a boxing game there, I'm probably going to be using it.
True.
And, I mean, I was killing it. I thought I was on fire personally. I mean, we were having a great time with our friends, and we were just having a blast. And all of a sudden, the lights just go out.
Okay.
But a few moments later, the lights turn back on. And so we're like, all right, we just want to continue playing. We thought everything was fine. I thought everything was fine.
Why was there a power outage, Mr. Allen?
Well, Your Honor, there was a severe thunderstorm that night.
Okay.
And so the power did go out for just a few moments. The place did go entirely black. But as soon as the power came back on, we heard him scream, and I saw a commotion over by the boxing machine. We did our best to get him medical attention as soon as possible. We called 911 immediately.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Lewis, how did this happen?
Your Honor, when the lights turned back on, I was pumped because I was getting back to my game, you know? On this hit, I wanted to just get the highest score I've ever gotten. You know, this is the one. This was the one right here. Then I hit the bag as hard as I can, and right as I hit it, immediately, I knew something was wrong. That bag felt like it was solid. I've never felt a more excruciating pain in my entire life, Your Honor. I felt like every bone in my arm and in my hand broke instantly at once. My arm just dropped to the side. It was floppy. My fingers were jiggling. It was disturbing, and I looked at Amanda, and she was just horrified. When I saw her face, I knew something was terribly wrong. So we had to rush to the hospital as soon as we could and get emergency surgery. And the worst part about it, Your Honor, was that the surgery was only partially successful. So now I only have partial use of my arm and my hand for the rest of my life because of this man's faulty machine.
The machine was fine, Your Honor.
Now, Miss Amanda, you got this on video, right?
Yes, Your Honor. We have a video.
You submitted that to the court. Let's take a peek at it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's play and see what it says. And that's how you... That's what your arm did?
Yes, Your Honor.
I need to see that again. So you're gonna hit it? Oh. Okay. All right, so that's why your arm was dangling, and it's amazing you didn't pass out. Ugh. So, Mr. Allen, how did you know that something had gone wrong?
Well, we heard the scream. We went to him immediately. We did call 911. They didn't want to wait for the ambulance to get there.
But how does this bag go from something you can knock around to basically cement?
Well, Your Honor, when the power went off, it caused all the games to reset. So it just went back to just like before anybody put any money with them or before they started. So we made an announcement immediately. I had
Your Honor,
attendants going
they
out
made an
both
announcement.
sides.
We did not hear it.
We were making
If
announcements.
you don't put money in the machine, the bag is stationary.
Yes, sir.
When you put money in the machine, you can hit it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, how's he supposed to know once the lights go out that it's not gonna
We thought it
be
would
like
keep
it
going.
was?
We made announcements immediately that all the machines needed to be
We did not hear
reset.
announcements, Your Honor.
We also have a picture on each side of the machine. We have
Should have more
signs.
pictures.
This is what's on the
We
plasma
never
here.
saw that.
Coming up,
The sign is on each of your machines.
Yes, Your Honor. It's posted on every machine.
In the event of a power outage, stop all use of machines. Y'all didn't see that?
Nobody looks at the side of the machine. They just go to play the game.
So in addition to the signs, you also went on the loudspeaker and
No,
said,
sir, he did not.
what?
We don't have a loudspeaker, Your Honor.
Using a garden hose shouldn't be a hassle. That's why we built the tardigrade steel hose. The inner diameter of tardigrade steel hose is wider compared to other metal garden hoses, allowing for powerful water pressure. Our advanced engineered metal garden hose is made with premium materials, strong, rugged, tough, and easy to use. Extreme summer temperatures
Mom,
to frigid winters stand no chance against
Whenever
the
I'm
tardigrade
playing
steel hose.
personal injury court, I'm gonna be
To
filming.
outperform all others.
Philistines have assembled.
What?
My king, I will fight the giant.
Can one stone change the course of history?
For homicide detectives, their chance of solving a murder
This is an execution. He may have hired somebody to do it.
is cut in half if they don't get a lead
A young couple was kidnapped and taken hostage.
within the first 48 hours. The iconic show is now a 24/7 channel.
This is disappearing. Hopefully nobody else will die.
The First 48 by A&E.
If you don't put money in the machine, the bag is stationary.
Yes, sir.
When you put money in the machine, you can hit it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, how's he supposed to know once the lights go out that it's not gonna
We thought
be
it would
like
keep
it
going.
was? The sign is on each of your machines?
Yes, Your Honor. It's
And
posted on
it
every
reads,
machine.
play at your own risk. The manufacturer, operator, and the establishment are not responsible for damages sustained through the use of our machines. In the event of a power outage, stop all use of machines. Each machine must be rebooted by the manufacturer or establishment. Y'all didn't see that?
And nobody looks at the side of the machine. They just go to play the game.
Your Honor,
We're
the
not going to pay
machines are
attention to that, Your Honor.
posted.
He should have placed it on
And
front,
we
Your
made
Honor.
an audio announcement.
So in addition to the signs, you also went on the loudspeaker and
No,
said,
sir, he did not.
what?
We don't have a loudspeaker, Your Honor. I had attendants walk down each row
That's
with
not
their
true,
hand
Your
up
Honor.
going, please wait
Your Honor.
for us to reset machines. Please
Your
wait.
Honor, carry
So
on.
y'all didn't see attendants walking
No,
down
Your
saying,
Honor.
hold
I
up?
only saw one attendant, and that was when he was screaming and injured.
No one else was injured. No one else started. He jumped the gun. He went right back to playing, and that's against our rule.
No, but he's
Well,
not.
Mr. Allen, I used to like pinball machines, right? If the power goes out and it goes back to where you don't have any money in the machine, you're just pressing buttons. You don't break your wrist on it, right?
Well, it's just a different kind of game, Your Honor. I mean, he's an adventurer. He stated that he's an adventurer.
Is there something
He should
wrong with
know
that, Your
the
Honor?
adventurous games
Is this supposed to be
carry
something wrong
more
with that?
risk than a pinball game.
How did this happen?
Your Honor, if you don't mind, if I could show you the video and walk you through it, it would be really helpful.
Please do.
So, Your Honor, as you see, I'm standing in front of the boxing machine right here.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm getting, this is right after the lights turn on. If you play the video, you'll see. I've never played this game before where it's felt like that. It was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my entire life.
Snapped every bone in your arm.
It was so sharp and so instant. I couldn't move my arm. I couldn't lift it. I didn't even want to look at it because it was just disturbing to me.
Well, that makes me nauseous, though.
It's very hard, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, you may return to the podium.
Thank you, sir.
It's amazing you didn't pass out from that.
Next.
I fractured my fingers, my hand, and my corporal bone.
We're gonna have order in this court, guys. I just broke my gavel. You guys got me using this thing. You gotta talk to me because I don't have another gavel. Okay? Could you go over there and show me how people are supposed to hit it?
And see, the machine works perfect, Your Honor.
When the power's out and there's no money in it, that bag doesn't move like that.
That's correct, Your Honor.
It was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my entire life.
Snapped every bone in your arm.
Every bone.
So, Mr. Lewis,
Yes, sir.
you shattered this arm. You went to the hospital, then what happened?
Your Honor, well, I went to the hospital with the emergency surgery, and they tried to fix up my arm, but it was only partially successful. I broke my arm. I fractured my fingers, my hand, and my corporal bone. I can't use it the same that I used to, Your Honor. I like to be active. I like to rock climb. I like to do physical things and be adventurous. And now I can't do it the same way I used to.
This shut all of that down.
For the rest of my life, Your Honor.
I see that you're asking this court for $140,000 for pain and suffering. How has this affected the other parts of your life?
Your Honor, in my day-to-day, I mean, we all use our arms. We all use our hands and our fingers. I don't even have the same amount of finger strength I used to. And I don't know how I'm supposed to be able to function with just one arm. And it's all because of the faulty machine and because of this poorly run company.
Let me stop you for a minute. You could have waited. True?
Your Honor, I could have waited, Your Honor, and I would have waited had we known and had we
As
specifically...
we heard the announcement.
They did not
Yes.
listen. They were not paying attention. He was being reckless. He
We
was
were
being
not-
careless all night.
We were not
had called him
aware
down on multiple
there's an
occasions
outage
about
that we
being
need to
rough with our
stop
machine.
playing.
Y'all sound like a choir, but I don't know what you're singing. You can't talk at the same time. So you say it was being reckless. What's the difference between reckless and somebody who's excited to spend more money on your machine?
Well, he was trying to get lots of attention. He had a big crowd gathered around him. He was trying to impress his girlfriend.
So the machine didn't malfunction. He used it wrong?
Correct, Your Honor. We get our machines inspected regularly, and this machine just recently passed inspection. We maintain our machines to the tip-top order.
But I want to understand how this functions. When the lights go off, the power goes off, you said this machine goes back to as if you didn't put any money into it.
Yes, Your Honor. All the machines do.
Does that bag move if you don't put any money in it?
No, Your Honor.
And if you're being reckless, right, you don't hit the bag, but what should he have done once the lights came back on?
He should have waited for us to give
We
the all
didn't
clear.
know.
Had they properly notified us, we would have known, Your Honor.
I want you to show me how this machine works.
Yes, Your Honor.
Could you go over there and show me how people are supposed to hit it?
You should square up on the machine, make sure you take a good aim, and see the machine works perfect, Your Honor.
So when the power's out and there's no money in it, that bag doesn't move like that.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I've played the game before at other places, and they've always provided boxing gloves.
Well, what
Always
difference
provided
would that make, though, if the bag's not going to move?
Your Honor, it would be a lot safer. If I had the ability, like boxers, like a regular boxing match, they wear the boxing gloves for safety.
Your Honor,
and so if I hit that bag, there's a chance that maybe I wouldn't have broken my hand and arm. There is that chance. But I didn't get that chance because he took it away from me. Because they said they don't provide boxing gloves anymore because it's an old-fashioned game. They said no one's ever been hurt before. And so, look how that worked out now. No one's ever been hurt before.
Mr. Lewis, do you take any responsibility for your injuries? You could have just stopped.
Your Honor, I would have not played the game had I known prior that we had to wait after an outage.
He asked if we had gloves, and we told him we did not. He decided to play the game anyway. That was a choice that he made.
Mr. Lewis,
they ensured my safety, Your Honor.
You can't ensure anyone's safety. You have to be responsible for your own safety.
Direct your
That's
comments
right
to
on
me.
the machine.
We were playing the game as intended, Your Honor.
We're going to have order in this court, guys. I just broke my gavel. You guys got me using this thing. You got to talk to me because I don't have another gavel, okay?
Yes,
Yes,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor.
Address me.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Aside from the gloves, he could have made sure that his attendants walked around and notified everybody. He keeps claiming
did.
there were multiple...
Neither of you all heard the attendant?
No,
Your
nobody
Honor.
heard.
The music was loud. The games
The
were on.
games were on again.
Everyone
People were
had
cheering.
cheering
We were
on us.
excited. We thought everything was okay. We thought. He ensured us that we were going to be okay.
And he should have been. Everyone else
Should
that
have.
played the game was.
Should have.
His
but he still
girlfriend
could
was
have
playing the
prepared.
same game, and she didn't get hurt
She was punching Miss Amanda, you punched the bag?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
because she did it safely. She didn't do it
Your
carefully.
Honor, again, this has nothing to do with how we punched it. It's the fact that the power went out. We were not told to wait.
Which we should have, and it's his fault. They are responsible for not notifying us properly.
It's not about hitting
You
the
were
back.
all
Use
playing.
common sense to wait, Your Honor. What if someone had been
Common
walking
sense.
behind him?
Folks, I've heard what I need to hear. I'm ready to render my decision.
The verdict is in.
When the storm hit and the power outage happened, it reset your equipment. That is, you didn't hear the attendants. No one told you that this bag wasn't going to move. And when you hit it, that nauseating video where your arm was shattered, that became your life reality. Had Mr. Lewis followed the simple directions given by your attendants, he would not have been injured because that would have caused him to wait.
The Long Range School District, which is considered to be one of the finest in the state of Pennsylvania.
They told us everyone was getting their own MacBooks, but I thought I was using it in the privacy of my own home.
Doing pictures of me in my bedroom?
We put doors on teenagers' bedrooms for a reason. It tore us apart. The truth is coming out.
Experience the incredible true story of Clarissa Shields.
I'm trained for this medal. I'm gonna need exactly what the man gave.
It's way bigger than boxing. The Fire Inside. Rated PG-13.
Everyone else that played the game was.
Should have,
His
but you still
girlfriend
could
was
have
playing the
prepared.
same game, and she didn't get hurt.
It's his fault. They are responsible for not notifying us properly.
I've heard what I need to hear. I'm ready to render my decision. In every personal injury case, the plaintiff, you, Mr. Lewis, you have to prove three things. It's like a three-legged stool. You've got to prove that Mr. Allen, his organization, was wrong because you've sued him and his arcade. You've got to prove that their wrong caused your injuries. Here, you've put up evidence that Mr. Allen did not give you proper instruction. That is, you didn't hear the attendants because of the music.
Yes, Your Honor.
No one told you that this bag wasn't going to move. You thought it was going to swing after you hit it the way it had done before. And when you hit it, that nauseating video where your arm was shattered, that became your life reality. Mr. Allen, you have just been adamant that had Mr. Lewis followed the simple directions given by your attendants, and frankly, on the sign that you had on the various games, he would not have been injured because that would have caused him to wait. Here, as a business owner, you have the responsibility to anticipate things that are reasonable occurrences.
Right.
When a circumstance changes your location from something that's safe to something that's dangerous. When the storm hit and the power outage happened, it reset your equipment. For something like this, it changes a bag that moves into a bag of solid cement, and it requires a better warning than people saying, everybody stop. Your folks should have, and you should have, provided a better warning as to games where when they change, the results are nearly devastating. I find that you have proven Mr. Allen was wrong in not warning you clearly. And I find in your favor, I award you everything you're seeking. $35,000 for past medicals, $10,000 for future medicals, $140,000 for pain and suffering, for a total award of $185,000. That is my final award, and this matter is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sheriff Matt, would you mind giving your best punch to that machine so I can see how it works? Show off. He's a show off. That's okay.
Personal injury court.
I go to step up on the ledge, I get everybody in the frame, I take a couple shots, and next thing you know, the ground falls from up under me. And I fall straight into the ground.
You fell into a septic tank?
Septic tank, Your Honor.
You're covered with human excrement?
Even had some in my mouth. I threw up a few times. Had it all in my hair.
You are suing for $550,000.
I got a phone call from Mrs. Fletcher. He said that he had fallen in the septic tank. And I said, well, what was he doing over there to begin with?
Judge Gino Brogdon spent 10 years on the bench ruling on cases worth billions of dollars. Now he presides over some of the largest claims in TV history. This is Personal Injury Court.
Good day, everyone. This is the matter of Fletcher versus Smith. Mr. and Mrs. Fletcher, you all are suing Mr. Smith for injuries that Mr. Fletcher sustained on property that you all rented from Mr. Smith. You're asking this court to award you $125,000 for past medical expenses, $25,000 for future medical expenses, $400,000 for pain and suffering, for a total award of $550,000. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Smith, you believe you've done everything you were supposed to do. This simply is not your fault if they had stayed where they were supposed to be.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Well, let's get into the legal sauce. How did you all come to rent this property?
Well, Your Honor, we wanted to move out of our apartment and find a space where we could have family travel and have a vacation spot. So we looked around and we came upon Mr. Smith's home. The very first thing that we noticed was the big yard, and that's what attracted us because I'm very big on entertaining.
This is the home here?
That is correct, Your Honor. So
It's a nice place.
Yes, it is very nice. We've been renting this house for about 3 years, and I finally settled in and got the home decorated the way that I wanted to. And me and Mr. Fletcher decided that we would host the next family reunion. We were extremely excited because not only have it been about 5 years since we last seen our family, but also we found some family members on Ancestors DNA. So we all was just extremely happy to finally get a chance to meet each other and just have a great time. And that's not what happened.
Mr. Smith, so you rented this home to the Fletchers. Tell me about that.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor. I inherited this house from my parents when they passed away. They lived in this home for, several years, and I just didn't want to sell it, so I thought I'd try renting it, and it's been very successful. As you can see, it's on a nice plot of land, nice space, and that's actually what helps me to rent it out. It draws people's appeal to have that big yard. So
yeah, they call that curb appeal.
That's it, Your Honor. And so I've had no problem renting the home. I've had really good tenants. I've had long-term tenants. The Fletchers have lived there now for 3 years, the previous for 5. So I have a really good rapport with my tenants, and as far as I'm concerned, I was on a very friendly basis with the Fletchers.
So Mr. and Mrs. Fletcher, what happened?
Your Honor, it was a very nice summer day. All of the family had arrived, and everybody's greeting each other and just, getting to know each other, just talking and having stories shared. The kids was in the back and just running around playing tag. We had some of the younger kids in the front, dancing and just having a great time. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we hear this loud scream. We don't know where it's coming from, but next thing, the kids run in the house saying that my husband, Mr. Fletcher, fell into the ground.
Mr. Fletcher, how did you end up in the ground?
Well, Your Honor, I was having a blast, meeting new family members, meeting cousins and their children. My wife asked me to bring along my camera because I took up photography last year. So, of course, I wanted to test out my skills and, take a couple pictures. So, I'm looking for a nice area to, find a little leverage, get a little height so I can fit everybody into, the frame.
Get the right shot.
Get the right shot. So I see this little platform. I go to step up on the ledge, I get everybody in the frame. I take a couple shots, get a couple more shots from a different angle, and next thing you know, the ground falls from up under me. And I fall straight into the ground. And I even hit my head and I lost consciousness. And, while I'm in and out of consciousness, I'm kind of realizing where I am once I hear my family members, I hear my wife screaming, I hear everybody trying to get me to come back too. So once I come back too, I'm smelling a horrific odor.
It was horrible, Your Honor.
Horrible odor, and I'm actually tasting, Your Honor, excuse me, I'm sorry.
What's your language?
Waste, Your Honor, waste.
Human excrement.
Waste, excuse me, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if these pictures could smell, you would be dead right now. That's how bad the smell was.
So you
know that's not mud.
Well, you fell into a septic tank?
Septic tank, Your Honor, septic tank. And at this point, as you can see, at this point, I'm hyperventilating, I'm panicking because, I'm realizing where I'm at, and, that's not the safest place to be for a human being. And
you're covered with human excrement?
Even had some in my mouth. I threw up a few times. Had it all in my hair. It took days to get it out, Your Honor. Days to get that smell out.
And so when they get you out of the septic tank, all your family sees this?
All my family sees it. Very, very, it's embarrassing,
New family that we've never met, and they actually gave him a nickname.
Yeah, they call me Pookie Dookie now, Your Honor.
That is just
that's what I'm still dealing with. I'm not the same. I don't think I'll ever be.
So how high up were you in this suit?
To chest high, Your Honor. And of course, when you fall into any kind of water or liquid, it's going to splash. It's natural for it to splash. So, like I said, it's something that I don't think I will ever be able to get over, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, don't you feel badly that Mr. Fletcher fell in your septic tank?
Your Honor, that particular day, I got a phone call from Mrs. Fletcher.
Okay.
All I could hear on the other line was a commotion. Music was blaring. It sounded like a house party going on. And that's when Mrs. Fletcher started screaming frantically in the phone, yelling that her husband, Mr. Fletcher, had fallen in the ground. And I didn't understand what she was talking about because I was like, how did he fall in the ground? That doesn't make any sense to me. And that's when she said that he had fallen in the septic tank. And I said, well, what was he doing over there to begin with?
Coming up.
Clearly asked her, was Mr. Fletcher okay? And she said he was fine. You need to come fix
that. That is a lie.
I asked her then, I was like, are you having a party over there? And that's when she hung up.
You submitted an exhibit to this court to explain this. I want to put it up on the screen here. Did you know this was a septic tank?
Did not know it was a septic tank.
That is not true,
No
Your Honor.
sign.
That is not true.
I stood right in the middle of the plyboard, and on probably like the sixth picture, fell straight through. You can have everything you want if you want it. You can have anything if you want it. You can have
me to find something.
Damn, T.
I have something very special planned. I am ready to get back out there.
Let's go. Come on.
Give me some information.
I knew you were gonna be fun.
I'm not an astronaut.
If you don't go, you die. With the rest of us.
I'm just a teacher.
Get to work, Dr. Grace. The world is counting on you. Object approaching.
Oh my God.
That's when Mrs. Fletcher started screaming frantically in the phone, yelling that her husband, Mr. Fletcher, had fallen in the ground. And I didn't understand what she was talking about because I was like, how did he fall in the ground? That doesn't make any sense to me. And that's when she said that he had fallen in the septic tank. And I said, well, what was he doing over there to begin with? He doesn't belong over there. And are you having, is he okay? And she's like, at the time, she was like, he's fine. You need to come fix this this septic tank. And I asked her then, I was like, are you having a party over there? And that's when she hung up.
Your Honor, he's a lie. He never asked me was my husband
And
okay.
I did clearly ask her, was Mr. Fletcher okay? And she said he was fine. You need to come fix
That
this.
is a lie.
So you submitted an exhibit to this court to explain this. I want to put it up on the screen here and have you cross over and tell me how this happened.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Well, as you can see, Your Honor, this is the septic tank. And this is where the ply board was covering the septic tank. You know, it gave me the width that I needed, and it gave me the background drop I needed for my picture.
Did you know this was a septic tank?
Did not know it was a septic tank.
That is
There
not
was
true,
no
Your Honor.
sign.
That is not true.
Excuse me, Your Honor. There was no sign indicating that
there were plenty.
This was a septic tank, or that it was a possibility that somebody could fall in this septic tank.
So you walked across the top?
Walked across the top, and I stood right in the middle of the plyboard. And I took about 5 pictures, and on probably like the 6th picture, it fell straight through. I mean, fell straight through to the ground. Nothing stopped my fall. I even hit my head. This laceration on my face came from the edge of the septic tank. And of course, as you can see, all types of scum, liquid sewage.
So from your waist down, you're
covered
in this human suit.
And it's even in my mouth at this point.
That is nasty.
I'm throwing up. I'm regurgitating my own throw up. I'm inhaling, the worst smell I ever smelled, Your Honor.
The smell was horrible, Your Honor.
And as you can see, I mean, just the word. I thought this family reunion was going to be, a memorable moment, but for the good part. But this is something I'll probably never forget and always be traumatized.
Next.
Mr. Smith, why isn't this your fault? This is your septic tank.
First of all, they broke their lease by having a party in the first place. The renter's agreement says you cannot hold functions on the property if it exceeds more than 20 occupants.
Mr. Smith rolled by and actually got out the car, started conversating with us. He even manned the grill.
This court has consulted Dr. Seacrest Southern.
And a bacterial infection sets in right in the bronchial, right there, right in the alveoli. Human waste has bacteria and viruses that can cause infectious diarrhea. Antibiotics are also needed to treat this type of diarrhea.
You fell into a septic tank?
Septic tank, Your Honor.
You're covered with human excrement?
Even had some in my mouth. I threw up a few times. All my family sees it. Very, very, just embarrassing,
And they actually gave him a nickname.
Yeah, they call me Pookie Dookie.
So Sir, you can return to the podium. Thank you so much. Mr. Smith, why isn't this your fault? This is your septic tank.
First of all, they broke their lease by having a party in the first place.
They weren't allowed to have
They are
parties?
not allowed, and they know this. The renter's agreement says you cannot hold functions on the property if it exceeds more than 20 occupants. She knows
Is that your
the-
signature, Ms. Fletcher?
It is, Your Honor. But, and to our defense, Your Honor, just last year, we had a cookout for a co-worker of mine. Mr. Smith rolled by and actually got out the car, started congregating with us. He was eating watermelon. He even manned the grill. And there was about 25 people at that time. Never once did he have
Hold
a
on.
problem.
Let me give you a legal lesson. When you sign a lease, both of you are bound to the terms of that lease. If it says no more than 20 people, the law says no more than 20 people. Now you're telling this court that because he stopped by, that somehow you're not supposed to honor the lease?
I mean, we're here today to talk about my husband's injuries, and point blank, it was on his property, and my husband could be dead right now because of him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, I understand why you feel that way, but the law requires more than simply someone being injured on another person's property. Mr. Fletcher, tell me about your injuries.
Well, of course, as you can see, I have this broken arm, Your Honor. I also have lacerations over my body, this one on my face, and it seems to ooze out pus at times, when I'm waking up in the morning or throughout the day. I even have a breathing condition that is aspiration pneumonia, and I'm having a hard time breathing in and breathing out as a result of swallowing feces and inhaling feces for, more than a few minutes. I'm not the same person, Your Honor, and I don't think I'll ever be.
Folks, to better understand the nature of Mr. Fletcher's injuries, this court has consulted Dr. Seacrest Sutherland. She's an emergency medicine physician. Will you get Dr. Sutherland in here? Sure, thank you. Doctor, how are your lungs and breathing affected by pneumonia?
Aspiration is a special type of pneumonia that's a little bit different from standard pneumonias. In this particular case, the patient was unconscious and unable to protect his airway. He was in liquid waste. And you can see the sewage goes in through the trachea, all the way down into the lungs, right into the bronchioles, what we call the lung parenchyma. And a bacterial infection sets in right in the bronchiole, right there, right in the alveoli where normal lung tissues exchange air that requires IV antibiotics and therefore must be treated in the hospital. It's such a severe pneumonia that even with proper treatment, patients can and do die from it. Normal lung tissue is filled with air, and so it's very easy for the x-rays to penetrate that. That's why it's dark. The x-rays can't penetrate so well on the infected lung tissue because it's filled with pus and liquid. Human waste has bacteria and viruses that can cause infectious diarrhea. Antibiotics are often needed to treat this type of diarrhea. Furthermore, it can be hemorrhagic, which means you've got bloody diarrhea. The growth factor is immense. Being chest deep in human waste is enough to give anybody nightmares and flashbacks. Patients report fatigue, exercise intolerance, and poor stamina, which go on for week after week after week. After 6 months, you finally heal, you finally get back to where you were before. It's a long, hard journey, but most people get there.
Doctor, thank you so much. You are released.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith, this is a nasty, nasty situation. How can this not be your fault when it happened on your property and he fell into your septic tank?
Your Honor, they should have seen the signs. The signs were there clearly stating, keep out, do not step on this in big letters, do not step.
This is the sign you're talking about?
That's the sign.
And where was this sign was on the platform?
That particular sign was on the platform. Do not step.
Your Honor, can you read that?
Now, well, when you said it, I could read it, but it under that mud or whatever that is, it says do not step or stop.
We're well aware the signs have been there.
Your Honor, the grass is so unkept, it covers the sign.
But hold on for a minute. One, the grass is cut all the way up to the weed line. So somebody was maintaining the property.
Yes.
And that means somebody ran a lawnmower over by this septic tank. You all lived there for 3 years. Wouldn't that be time for you to notice this?
Exactly.
Folks, I think I've heard what I need to hear. I'm ready to render my decision.
The verdict is in.
You've put up evidence, and Mr. Smith has put up evidence that you all violated the lease by having too many people on this property. Your violation of the lease was wrong. Mr. Smith, I find that sign insufficient, so you both were wrong. What I have to do as a judge is to decide which is the responsible cause for your injury.
Start the timer! Are you ready?
First loves are important, but they're not as important as lasts.
We're getting married.
I'm sorry, what?
When I'm with Jared, everything is easier. But everywhere I go, there's a memory of Conrad.
Life's too short not to spend it with the person that you love.
Under that mud or whatever that is, it says do not step or stop.
We're well aware the signs have been there.
You all lived there for 3 years. Wouldn't that be time for you to notice this?
Exactly.
Folks, I think I've heard what I need to hear. I'm ready to render my decision. Mr. and Mrs. Fletcher, you've got to show that Mr. Smith was wrong and that he caused you to fall into this septic tank and is responsible for everything that you've gone through. You've put up evidence and photographs and testimony that you didn't quite know that you were in danger in stepping on top of this platform. There was a wooden platform that failed and you fell into a soup of human excrement. Mr. Smith, you had a cover, you had a sign. Had they read that sign, and frankly, had they looked, they would have seen it was a septic tank and not stand on top of it, and we wouldn't be here today.
Yes, Your Honor.
These facts and the applicable law call into question which wrong caused your harm. You are clearly harmed. But you've put up evidence, and Mr. Smith has put up evidence, that you all violated the lease by having too many people on this property. You all were there 3 years and could have known, could have discovered that this was a septic tank. Your violation of the lease was wrong. Mr. Smith, the Fletchers have proven you also were wrong. You knew better than they did that this septic tank needed to be sealed. I looked at that wooden cover and I said, this was simply an accident waiting to happen. I find that sign insufficient. So you both were wrong. What I have to do as a judge is to decide which is the responsible cause for your injuries. This didn't happen because your party was too big. This happened because the cover was wrong, the sign was inadequate, and it was not discoverable so that they could avoid the danger. Based on the evidence, I must find against you and in the Fletcher's favor. I'm going to award you everything you asked for a final award of $550,000 against Mr. Smith. That's my verdict, and this matter is adjourned.
Today on Personal Injury Court.
I got a little cut. We swam for the rest of the day and just started not feeling right. My foot was all red. And it was really, really painful. The redness was traveling up my leg. I was
screaming. I went into emergency surgery because it was necrotizing fasciitis.
The flesh-eating stuff. Oh, wow. Well, did you know that there were bugs in your leg?
Anytime someone goes into a natural lake with an open wound, with something that
It
hasn't
wasn't a
been treated.
wound, it was a cut.
You do not feel the pain and suffering that my wife has gone through.
Judge Gino Brogdon spent 10 years on the bench ruling on cases worth billions of dollars. Now he presides over some of the largest claims in TV history. This is Personal Injury Court.
Good day, everyone. This is the matter of Walker versus Jackson. Mr. and Mrs. Walker, it's my understanding you are suing Mr. Jackson and his resort, Barrett All, for injuries Mrs. Jackson sustained at his property. You're asking this court to award you $150,000 for your past medicals, $1 million for pain and suffering, for a total award of $1,150,000. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Jackson, you don't believe this is your fault. This was something you could not predict.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, let's get into the legal sauce. What took you all to Mr. Jackson's property, Barrett All?
My husband knows I like to swim in the nude, so he booked us at a nudist resort.
This was our first vacation ever at a nudist resort. And before I actually knew that it was a nudist resort, the thing that caught my eye is it is on a beautiful lake. I mean, when you picture a picturesque lake, it's got the reflection of the landscape in the background. It's got some beautiful mountains. I personally love to hike, so I was really looking forward to getting out there into the mountains. The cabins are actually beautiful.
They're
I'm from the
crazy.
city.
They're
I've never
crazy.
been
They
to a
have
log cabin
everything you
before.
could ever want. It's like glamping instead of camping.
So you all decided that you were going to go and bear it all. Had y'all done this before?
No, this is the first time.
Yeah, well, we swim nude, but we've never done it actually at a resort with other people or
In public.
So, Mr. Jackson, tell me about Barrett All.
I am the owner and proprietor of Barrett All Nudist Resort and Campsite. It's a facility that specializes and gives credence to naturalist lifestyles. I know a lot of people that hear the phrase nudist and it brings a smirk, or they think they're the off-flyers of society, but really this is a community that's worldwide, and it's about accepting people and nature for exactly what it is and who they are. We have hundreds of guests every year. The vast majority of our guests are repeat visitors. What we strive to do is give everyone a place where they can feel welcome with community activities, scenic views, giving this sense of fellowship and allowing people to be free and be themselves.
And you got a big lake on your property.
Yes, sir. It's one of the most beautiful lakes I've ever seen in my entire life.
And do people actually get out there and get in the water?
Yes, sir. There are plenty of different locations that people can swim at, but yes, some people do enjoy the natural, beautiful scenic lake that we have.
It's a beautiful lake. So what happened?
We got there and we just couldn't wait to go swimming in that gorgeous lake. And we found some lounge chairs, and mine was kind of stuck, so I ended up kicking it with my foot, and I got a little cut. No big deal. We swam for the rest of the day. It was such a beautiful day, and just all day long.
But we went out for dinner. We had a really nice dinner.
Beautiful.
But it was during the dinner that you started
Yeah,
to
I
get
just
achy.
started not feeling right. It's like I had the flu or something. It was achy and nauseous.
So you're feeling sick at dinner, then what happened?
Yes, my foot was all red, and it was really, really painful. And as the night progressed, it got more and more painful, and the redness was traveling up my leg. And it was like a knife was stabbing me in the leg like every 3 seconds.
Well, you knew something was wrong by that.
Yeah, right. I was scared. So I woke him up in the middle of the night, and he took me to the ER. And when we got there, the doctors looked and looked, and they couldn't figure out what it was. They just threw me in a room, and I was actually in so much pain, they had me on a morphine drip that I regulated, and it would not even touch it. I was screaming. You were on the phone with my family.
I didn't know what to do.
And they could hear me screaming over the phone.
From my days as a medical malpractice lawyer, if they give you a morphine drip that you control, you are in a lot of pain.
Oh, it was horrible. Just, I've never experienced so much agony.
Mr. Jackson, how did you know something went wrong?
Well, Your Honor, to be honest, I wasn't anywhere near the situation when it was occurring. My only interaction with the walkers was I checked them in to the resort and then showed them around the campsite and to their cabin.
If I could just say one thing more.
Yes, ma'am.
I went into emergency surgery when my organs were shutting down, and that's when they realized what it was. It was necrotizing fasciitis.
The flesh-eating stuff.
Disease. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, I know you both had to be pretty frightened by that.
Oh,
That's a
terrible.
nasty bug. And it kills people.
I had a 95% mortality rate.
So you had a 5% chance to live
Yes, sir.
after swimming in a lake. Mr. Jackson, have you ever heard of necrotizing fasciitis?
Before this incident, Your Honor, no, I hadn't.
Well, did you know that there were bugs in your lake that caused this?
Well, Your Honor, with all due respect, I feel that Barrett All is not responsible in this situation because anytime someone goes into a natural lake with an open wound, with something that
It
has
wasn't a wound, it was a cut.
Yeah, I
Your
understand
Honor,
completely.
my wife had a cut on her foot. It was like a cut that anyone else would. I fish all the time. I get cuts all the time. I go into lakes all the time.
Children get mosquito bites and they bleed and they go
I
swimming.
completely understand that, and I feel your pain and suffering.
You do not feel the pain and suffering that my wife has gone through. So don't talk to us about that.
Coming up.
I cannot control nature. I can't control what's in a natural lake.
Your Honor, we'd like to show you the results of what happened.
So, Miss Walker, you lost your leg?
Yes, sir.
What has life been like since you've had to deal with this prosthetic?
Oh, Your Honor, it's just been horrible. My life has completely changed. I mean, I can't do the things I used to do. I was a runner. I ran marathons.
Jerry Frieda Senior Boost, daily multivitamin for adults 60 plus. Support your heart, brain, bones, vision, and more with over 25 key nutrients. Formulated just for adults 60 and over. No iron, no sugar, no dairy, no artificial additives. Just what your body needs, including betaine for digestion. Doctor formulated, trusted since 1928. Jerry Frieda Senior Boost. Give your body what it needs, so it gives back what you need.
Philistines are assembled.
What?
My king, I will fight the giant.
From one stone, change the course of history.
I'm not an astronaut.
If you don't go, you die. With the rest of us.
I'm just a teacher.
Better work, Dr. Grace. The world is counting on you.
Object approaching.
Oh my god.
The Lorraine School District, which is considered to be one of the finest in the state of Pennsylvania.
They told us everyone was getting their own MacBooks, but I thought I was using it in the privacy of my own home.
Pictures of me in my bedroom?
We put doors on teenagers' bedrooms for a reason. It tore us apart. The truth is coming out.
Your Honor, my wife had a cut on her foot. I get cuts all the time. I go into lakes all the time.
Children get mosquito bites and they bleed and they go swimming.
I completely
Do you
understand that.
not feel the pain and suffering that my wife has gone through?
I understand your anger, sir. What's occurred is a tragedy, absolutely. But I feel that our resort doesn't bear responsibility for this action because I cannot control nature.
Miss Walker, tell me what the doctors kind of told you your situation was in the hospital.
They said on a good day I might be able to use my walker to get out of bed and go to the bathroom.
Your Honor, in a couple of days' time, my wife ended up going under surgery, and we'd like to show you the results of what happened.
Do you mind?
Yeah, sure.
Got it.
So, Miss Walker, you lost your leg?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry this happened to you. What has life been like since you've had to deal with this prosthetic?
Oh, Your Honor, it's just been horrible. My life has completely changed. I mean, I can't do the things
Your
we
Honor,
used to do. I was a runner. I ran marathons.
I never thought that at 43 years old, I had to give up my job, and I'm now the primary caregiver for my wife. We've had to refit everything in our house. You can't operate the car without having it completely modified. Our lives have turned into a living nightmare.
I had to relearn how to just roll over. I couldn't move. I was on the ventilator. I couldn't speak. They didn't know what I was saying, trying to say to them. And I was kind of paralyzed in the bed. And so I had to learn to roll over, push myself up to a sitting position. I had to learn to swallow. They wouldn't let me eat until I could swallow again.
You had to relearn how to live.
Yes, exactly. I had to relearn how to breathe without the ventilator.
Next.
We have a couple of photos that we'd like to show you.
Okay. Oh my God.
That black part is the dying flesh.
And did you have rheumatoid arthritis when you got in this water?
Yes, I did.
And Your Honor, if I may,
But I didn't know it was such a toxic lake.
Your Honor, if I might, rheumatoid arthritis is an immunity-compromising disease.
As the night progressed, it got more and more painful, and the redness was traveling up my leg. They had me on a morphine drip that I regulated.
They give you a morphine drip that you control. You are in a lot of pain.
I went into emergency surgery when my organs were shutting down, and that's when they realized what it was. It was necrotizing fasciitis.
Your Honor, we'd like to show you the results of what happened.
So, Miss Walker, you lost your leg?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, if we can, we have a couple of photos that we'd like to show you.
Okay.
From before.
Sheriff Matt, if you'll get those photos for me. Thank you, sir. You're the best. Oh my God.
That black part is the dying flesh, and that has moved up my leg.
Oh my God.
It was so much pain.
For this court to understand how a cut turns into you losing your leg, this court has consulted an infectious disease doctor, Dr. Anna Catherine Birch. Sheriff Matt, will you get Dr. Birch?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Good day, Doctor. Doctor, can you explain the nature of the necrotizing fasciitis?
So it can start with flu-like symptoms, fever, body aches, those kind of things, but within a couple of hours, it can turn into a really bad rash. Here you can see the redness of the area, the way it starts, and to the left is a little area of tissue that is already dying there. So usually a patient would have extreme pain, and then within 5 to 6 hours, it can turn into a worse looking infection.
So this is a pretty fast-moving disease.
Absolutely it is. It can kill you quickly within a couple of hours.
Well, Ms. Walker was in a lake. Is every swimmer at risk?
Unfortunately, the bacteria that causes these infections are in the environment everywhere. So anyone who swims with an open cut can get an infection like this. And especially if you have a compromised immune system.
Well, how do you treat it?
It is a surgical emergency. So the person who comes in has to go to the OR immediately. The surgeon will actually open up the areas. You can see a picture here where they go in and take out all of that dead tissue and try to rinse out as much of that bacteria as possible. And then of course we're going to start IV antibiotics as well. But sometimes the destruction is so much that you actually can lose a limb and have to have an amputation to survive.
Thank you, doctor. We appreciate you. You are released. Ms. Walker, I've been watching you through the doctor's testimony, and the pain on your face is indescribable. What are you thinking right now?
If only the defendant had posted a sign, just a stupid sign, saying there's stuff in the lake.
Why didn't you at least put up a sign and say, Hey, folks, there may be bugs or something in here. You need to swim at your own risk.
Well, Your Honor, that's exactly what we do. Every time a guest or visitor comes to our resort, we explain to them and describe the lake and tell them they have to swim at the lake at their own risk because it is a natural lake that is untreated. If I can, I've also brought something that I would like to show the court. Your Honor, this is a checklist that we ask all visitors to fill out as they come in. If I could submit it to the court now for...
Sure. Sheriff Matt, will you retrieve that?
Thank you so much, sir.
Let me take a peek at it. So it reads...
Yes, sir.
Resort checklist. You give this to every one of your guests before they enjoy the property.
Every single person that comes in.
Please check any activities you'd like to join. Nude beach volleyball is checked. Nude kayaking is not checked. Nude horseshoe contest is checked. And then, importantly, do you have any medical conditions? And then there's an other. Rheumatoid arthritis is written in there. Mrs. Walker, did you write that in there?
Yes, I did.
And Your Honor, if I may...
But I didn't know it was such a toxic lake.
Your Honor, if I might, rheumatoid arthritis is an immunity-compromising disease. I know that because my uncle has it. And so, in tandem with this, going into the lake with an open wound and knowing that it's a natural...
So you're my doctor now?
No, ma'am.
Are you trying to diagnose me?
No, ma'am. I'm not at all
You're
trying
not
to do
an
that.
expert. Your Honor, our doctor has told us multiple times that swimming is a fantastic thing for people with arthritis. Because it helps if they encourage. He's not an expert.
Yes, Your Honor.
Talk to me.
Yes, Your Honor. The expert that came up talked about swimming with a compromised immune system and how that could lead to infections like this.
This lake had a bacterial bloom in it.
And an open cut in a lake that she knew well was natural and had been warned about swimming at her own risk.
Ms. Walker, when you talked to your doctor about rheumatoid arthritis, did your doctor tell you that it affected your immune system?
Yes, sir.
Did your doctor warn you about getting in water?
No.
Natural lakes?
No.
So you didn't know that was going to be a problem?
I had no idea, Your Honor. They encourage swimming.
I think I've heard enough, folks. I'm ready to render my decision.
The verdict is in.
If there's bacteria in your lake and things you know about that would cause this kind of injury, you have a duty to warn people. You also have certain duties if you know about physical condition. The law says you take care of yourself first, then you look to the responsibility of other people. Here, it's an issue of knowledge of risk.
Start the timer! Are you ready?
The Lorraine School District, which is considered to be one of the finest in the state of Pennsylvania.
They told us everyone was getting their own MacBooks, but I thought I was using it in the privacy of my own home.
Doing pictures of me in my bedroom?
We put doors on teenagers' bedrooms for a reason. It tore us apart. The truth is coming out.
The expert that came up talked about swimming with a compromised immune system and how that could lead to infections like this.
Did your doctor warn you about getting in water?
No.
Natural lakes?
No.
I think I've heard enough, folks. I'm ready to render my decision. This, like every other personal injury case that I've presided over, has the same structure. You have to prove three things. You've got to prove that Barrett All did something wrong, that their wrong caused your incredible injury. You all have put up evidence that you went for a romantic, almost a second honeymoon at Barrett All. You're doing something fun and exciting, being nude, get in the water. Sounds like a great time, but it didn't turn out that way. It turned out with part of your life and your body being cut away. Mr. Jackson, you seem like a good guy running this resort.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It sounds like a place where most people have fun, and you've never had this happen before. I get your point about the lake being natural, and what's in there is in there because of nature, and you believe that should not be your fault. The law imposes certain duties on everyone. If there's bacteria in your lake and things you know about that would cause this kind of injury, you have a duty to warn people. You also have certain duties if you know about physical conditions, even a little cut. The law says you take care of yourself first, then you look to the responsibility of other people. Here, it's an issue of knowledge of risk. Mr. Jackson did not have any idea that you had cut your foot or that you were going to get into that lake with a cut. You did let him know that you had rheumatoid arthritis. And we know from what the doctor said, rheumatoid arthritis compromises your immune system. You had knowledge of the risk that he did not have. Because you had higher knowledge of the risk, the law places upon you a higher duty to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you've assumed the risk of getting an infection when you get in that water. The result, your injury, you're losing a leg, that does not determine a legal result. I've got to look at whose fault is this. Based on the evidence, as hard as it is, this is one of my toughest days as a judge. I must find against you because you knew more about the risk than Barrett O and Mr. Jackson did. And when that happens, the defendant wins regardless of how bad the injury is. I find for the defendant, that is my verdict, and this matter is adjourned. Toughest day of my job.
Today on Personal Injury Court.
I was headed home and I realized that I left my keys at Trace.